We told you about the recent stabbing in Southport. 3 children were killed in a holiday club. 8 others were left injured. It was a truly horrible crime. But do you know how some Britons responded to it? By attacking the Southport mosque.
The UK's disturbing Islamophobia crisis. Islamophobic incidents in the UK have surged by a staggering 600% since October 2023, with Muslim communities increasingly facing discrimination, verbal abuse, and physical violence. Violent hate crimes in the UK have been found to be predominantly religious. Thus, a staggering 41.9% of all reported hate crime victims in 2023 were targeted at Muslims. Many women dressing in the hijab have been discriminated against in employment interviews for dressing inappropriately. The situation got worse when far-right protesters offered a conspicuous display of contempt towards Muslims. These are not any more isolated incidents, but it is vividly becoming a fashion of Islamophobia, which is unfolding its ugly face in the United Kingdom. Here's the shocking part. It is not only hate crimes on the streets either. Islamophobia is prevalent in almost every aspect of life, including school, the workplace, and even in the media. Each subsequent case we explore will further illustrate the situation is even worse and is much deeper than what it seems. A surge in hate crimes. For various political and social incidences, racism and sectarianism have risen and have inclined towards violence against Muslim people and some facilities such as mosques. For example, the claims of racism escalated after the latest riots in the form of far-right marches in Southport that used the deaths of Elsie Stancombe, Alice da Silva Aguar, and Baby King to sow hatred. This led to strings of riots involving physical attacks on hotels and homes to migrants, and to people even being dragged out of cars, all in the name of fake news stickered on social media platforms. This reaction to Muslims was preceded by the current alarming trends of rising far-right ideals. Anti-Muslims prejudice crimes have risen, with cyber violence, which takes place anonymously, continuously aggravating the situation. A continuous debate from media sources makes it worse, more so when Muslims are incriminated or despised mainly after terror incidents, even if unrelated. The pattern was especially observed following the attack on London Bridge, and when the number of reported Islamophobic incidents rose more than 100% in the subsequent days. The sad truth is that there are Muslim people who go outside their homes preparing themselves for an attack, either physically or in the form of an aggressive word. This fear has been made a continuing thing in everyday experience, a permanent symbol of the increase of tension and hate. However, knowing other cases of this sort, one can state that instances of Islamophobia increase every year in the UK, which means that the problem is only worsening. Discrimination runs deeper than you think. But of course, it does not just end there. Even though hate can be heard on the streets, it can also be found in the offices, boardrooms, classrooms, and in general, different institutions all around Great Britain. A study conducted in 2023 found out that by a woman covering her head with a hijab, she cannot be hired for a job despite her being the right candidate for the job. The message is clear. There goes that saying, if you really want to advance in this society, make sure to trespass on your spiritual side. Muslim students are still bullied at schools and receive negative assumptions constantly. Of course, children are frightened, and the leading characters of their narratives are teased. Learning Islamophobia in the educational context, a qualitative study with Muslim students revealed that 73% of Muslim students encounter Islamophobia. It's not mere insults, they go higher than that. Muslim girls have been insulted, the sort of thing you have heard people calling them Taliban, because of their blazers. Most Muslim students wearing hijabs, regardless of how proud they are of this garment, feel they lose their identity and are not supported by their teachers as well as the education systems. They live in conditions that may be taken as steadily eradicating the opportunity for their existence and ideas. The power of misrepresentation. Here's where it gets even more twisted. Described as some of the worst race riots in recent UK history, the violence began after a tragic knife attack in Southport, where 3 young girls were killed, as mentioned earlier. Social media falsely claimed the attacker was a Muslim asylum seeker, but incited the far-right mobs, despite the police confirming that the 17-year-old suspect was not Muslim and was born in Cardiff. The riots continued, targeting Muslim communities across the country. Disinformation online fueled these riots, with prominent figures like Tony Robinson and Andrew Tate playing a significant role in spreading false narrative. This misinformation led to a large-scale unrest, with social media platforms being scrutinized for enabling the spread of hate speech and lies. The deeper issue highlighted by these riots, however, is the normalization of Islamophobia in British society. The media often plays a role in this, especially in how it reports on incidents involving Muslims, reinforcing stereotypes of violence and incompatibility with British values. The controversy over France's hijab ban only fueled the debate further, with some in the UK advocating for similar restrictions, increasing the scrutiny faced by Muslim women simply for adhering to their faith. The British government's ongoing discussions around adopting a definition of Islamophobia have raised concerns about religious liberties, not just for Muslims, but for other faith groups like Christians, as the Labour Party led by Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner considers this definition. Unions are voicing their concerns about its broader implications for freedom of belief. Defining Islamophobia, a delicate balance. In her speech to the House of Commons, Angela Rayner spoke about the concerns of different communities regarding the definition of Islamophobia. Since the 2019 parliamentary group unsuccessfully offered a definition of Islamophobia as racism against those considered Muslims, there have been concerns on the slow embrace of the same, possibly pointing to the impacts it would have on free speech. The human cost of Islamophobia. Picture this. A Muslim family of 4 living in East London wakes up to find their car daubed with abusive slogans. I have met some of these people, and for them, it is as usual as any other day. And just think, a few weeks ago, what was acceptable behavior, being able to walk to the mosque for the Friday prayer, to now being verbally assaulted. Islamophobia is something that can be measured in terms of statistics, numbers, and stories. But once you go through specific incidents, the impact is very terrifyingly individualistic. It would be useful to remember the horrific murder of Muhammad Salim, an 82-year-old Muslim man found dead in Birmingham in 2013. What happened to Salim was clearly a religiously motivated attack, and it touched the core of one of the UK's prominent minorities. His murderer was a far-right man who sought to inflict fear on a society that is already living in constant social, financial, and psychological fear of the stranger, or refugee, or immigrant. This was no spur-of-the-moment killing. It was deliberate and only added fuel to the fire of Islamophobic hatred that has been rising in the UK. In 2020, Grenfell Tower inquiry again exposed that there is an increasing trend of Islamophobic abuse against the survivors, including many Muslim women. Those who only minutes before were risking their lives to rescue themselves and their neighbors from a burning building, and were now being told by the mouth-frothing trolls online that they deserve to die in the fire. Think about that for a moment. These people endured one of the modern United Kingdom's devastating natural disasters, and on top of that, discriminated against when they needed help the most. Every headline, every attack, every testimony points to the same conclusion. It was supposed to be a peaceful religion. The problem is called Islamophobia. It exists and only continues getting worse as it affects British society today. This is not only a problem of the Muslims, but a problem of all people. For when hate is thrown into a culture, culture becomes a place of death, a place that consumes the souls of its people. Before you go, we would love to know what you think. Leave us your thoughts and let's chat in the comments below. If you're interested in more discussions about social issues, watch the next video here. Together, we should wake up and spread the news that can make the world a much better place. May Allah help us all.